Good Monday evening, everybody. Quiet weather out there tonight. I got to tell you, there's not a whole lot to talk about weather-wise that's going on this week. We've got a warm-up coming our way, and you can kind of sense that. And we've got drought conditions developing over the northwest corner of the state. In fact, moderate drought conditions out there. So we're going to watch that probably expand as we get later into this week. So we're watching for that. Again, drought conditions developing. And you know, last year we had a similar thing. We had flash drought, and those are just kind of nasty. That's what happens when it gets hot and it gets really dry at the same time. So there's a potential for this flash drought condition west of the shoals into northern Mississippi and closer to Memphis. So we'll watch that. And that's where you get like a 2-week period of hot weather and no rain. It's flash. It happens real quick. Flash drought. We hope it doesn't happen around here. But tonight, the only thing we really have showing up is a ground clutter pattern around the radar. High top radar is down, by the way. The one in Jackson County, if you noticed that, if you were kind of looking on your phone wondering why it wasn't showing any rain, that's why. Because it had a power outage, but we really don't have any rain chance anyway for the next week. So that'll give them a chance to work on that. And Clay is still working with David Paul. Oh, yeah. Yeah, David Paul, he down there in Dothan. He may be tuning in tonight. Yeah, David and I are buddies. In fact, we're going to go fishing here in a couple of weeks. We're going down to Mexico Beach. Looking forward to that, do a little offshore fishing. We've been watching the hurricane situation real closely. It's been really, really quiet. So I hope I don't jinx it by taking a trip down to Mexico Beach the 18th or so of this month, and then all of a sudden the tropics wake up. Well, good evening, Donna. Just looking across the area tonight, it's comfortable. It's 72 degrees there. Gunnersville around 68. Water temperatures are starting to cool off. You may have noticed that this weekend, maybe Sunday, you decided to go swimming and you notice the water temperatures have cooled off quite a bit. That's what happens when you start getting these low temperatures in the upper 40s and low to mid 50s at night. The water temperatures are really kind of the first to go. Well, thanks, Clay. I got to clean my car up. It's getting a little dusty out in the garage. I'm slowly building this shower. It's almost ready for tile, but we're getting there. I think once I get past this tiled shower and bathroom, I'll finally be able to pass final inspection, and we'll be done with that. But Gunnersville, a little quiet tonight. Might actually see a little bit of fog out there with a light wind. One of the things about the winds tomorrow is they're actually going to pick up a little bit. We may get some wind gusts around 15 miles an hour as the wind kind of starts shifting back to the south-southeast. Warm up the water. Yeah, there's not much I can do about warming up the water. Even if what happens this time of year, it's the overnight lows. The nights are getting longer. The ground temperatures are getting cooler. So even those in-ground pools, they start to cool off because the ground temperatures are cooling off. And you take away the heating. So while we're going to be in the 90s this weekend, those pool temperatures are going to be quite on the cool side, and the dry air, when you get out of the water, you really notice a difference out there. So again, good pool layout weather coming, but not necessarily great swimming weather. But once you kind of get into it, you get comfortable out there. Looking at radar out west tonight, had some stronger thunderstorms in the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas. They're ongoing now. Had a few stronger storms in south central Kansas, but overall, this activity's quieting down a bit. There's kind of one storm north of I-40 there as you get to the well east of Amarillo. But that's the only thing going on out there. High clouds from that area will spill in tomorrow, but overall, mostly clear tonight. Big full moon last night. I think that's when it was. It's still big and bright out there tonight. A cool start, lows in the upper 50s to near 60, and then rest of tomorrow, 84, mostly sunny. 84, 86 is about normal for this time of year, but it will be getting warmer as we go through Thursday. I think we're going to go with a high of 90. Breezy with some sunshine tomorrow. Here's your 3-day forecast. 84 Tuesday, 86 Wednesday. Notice morning low is still around 60. So comfortable mornings, comfortable evenings for your walk, your jog, maybe just taking the dog out, things like that, comfortable. But then it gets hotter Thursday, but still it's that low humidity. So it's a dry heat coming our way. After this break, we're going to talk more about the 10-day forecast. We'll talk about the extended outlook over the next 14 days, and it looks warmer than normal. We'll talk more about that coming up. All right, we got 5 seconds remaining, everybody. Hang tight. All right, stop the break. Let's transition here and talking about the warming trend. There's no real blue areas on this map. The last few weeks we've had a lot of blue and the pattern's changing, and they're thankful for that out in Las Vegas and Utah, Los Angeles, where they had that big warming trend. Typically when one area of the country is a lot hotter than the other area is cooler than normal. But we're kind of mixed on this. It's going to be warmer than normal probably for the rest of this month. I'll just tell you that. And then our next cold front's probably going to have a lot more punch to it. We'll probably see overnight lows back in the mid-40s with the next cold front, but that's probably 2 weeks away, maybe more. So just keep that in mind. So again, we're all in this warmer than normal. The shoals, you just might make a run at 95 degrees by the end of the week. Yeah, the weather's going to stay nice. The evening temperatures for any of your football practices, they're going to be comfortable out there. It's the afternoon that's going to get hot. Highs in the low 90s. Overnight lows stay in the lower 60s. Normal is about 86 for this time of year with the lows in the low 60s and upper 50s. So the lows are not as much affected. That forecast is mainly for the afternoon highs. Here's your hour by hour for your Tuesday into Wednesday. A very boring weather pattern, and I'm fine with boring. We've had an active year so far, but right now, just very quiet from here, really all the way to the Gulf Coast. The storms are all hanging out in Florida, at least in the southeast. And as we get into Wednesday afternoon, not much changes here. Temperatures, I would say by noon, we're probably around 82, 83 degrees there. Rain chances are 0 right now, all the way through at least Saturday, probably into next week. I think most of us are going to stay dry. So again, as I mentioned earlier, the concern is for drought conditions that are developing across the area. And with a 10-day forecast like this, drought conditions are going to continue. So I do expect the moderate drought to increase in size over all of northwest Alabama, and it will spread a little bit farther to the east. High temperatures in the low 90s beginning Thursday. Overnight lows stay in the low 60s. So we're going to have comfortable mornings and evenings all the way through the next 10 days. But the afternoons will be a little on the hot side with highs in the 90s. So again, a little bit above normal. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I got to go do radio and get ready for this 10 o'clock news. Plus that Bears-Vikings game is pretty good. I'm going to just tune in on that too while I'm doing the radio and prep work for the 10 o'clock. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30. We do this. It's called Weather Extra. And sometimes there is some extra stuff to talk about, but not this week. I'll tell you that right now. Just the ragweed pollen. It's pretty bad. You guys take care.